Hey guys, welcome to week 3 of the Civics cohort. Last week, Kishore showed you how to look at your problem statements and turn them into how might we questions. How might we's are awesome because they reframe your problem into a collaborative and motivational challenge. Make sure to share your how might we questions with your social network. They offer a great opportunity for other collaborators, innovators, and investors to connect with you, especially if they resonate with your problems that you're trying to solve. After How Might We's, Kishore also introduced the Crazy 8 brainstorming exercise. Hopefully this has helped you to come up with some possible solutions. Make sure to check back at your Crazy 8s exercise and pull out the best parts of each idea that you came up with. Mix and match from your sketches and always ask, does this solve the user's problem and help them achieve their goals? This week, we're getting very practical. But first, I want to share a framework with you that will help you build your solutions more effectively. Over the last 2 weeks, you've been going through the idea to reality engineering process. This is a foundational process in the field of engineering. It guides thought and action to build great solutions. It's helped engineers over centuries, and we hope it can help you too. We've taken this framework as the core of the Civics cohort structure and called it the idea to reality engineering process, as that's what this course is all about, turning your ideas into a reality. Over the last 2 weeks, you've been going through the first 3 steps of this process, asking the right questions by identifying your constraints using a persona. You then went on to do research using AI tools and interviews. Then finally, imagine some solutions using How Might We's and Crazy 8s. Now we need to consolidate this into a plan to build your prototype. This week, we have 2 activities. First, defining your minimum viable product, or MVP. And 2, actually beginning to build the prototype. Okay, activity 1, scoping your minimum viable product. All right, so let's dive deep into scoping your minimum viable product, or MVP. An MVP is the basic version of your idea made real. Think about it like a rough sketch before a painting, or the first draft of an essay. It's the simplest version of your product that still does its main job, solving the problems you've identified. MVPs are important because they help you test your ideas, learn quickly if your solution works or doesn't, and attract investors. So how do you define what makes it into your MVP? At a high level, you'll need to create a list of the need-to-have features of your solution and the nice-to-have features. This allows you to prioritize what to build first. To prioritize features, we need to identify the features that directly align with the user's needs and goals. You identified these in previous weeks. Remember to focus on what's essential for the user to solve their problem and help them achieve their goals. The activity is to take a sheet of paper and list down all of the potential features or parts of your solution. Now, in another column, prioritize them based on the criteria that we just discussed. Separate them into need-to-have and nice-to-have features. For instance, if you're constructing an online platform for local farmers to directly sell their produce to consumers, a need-to-have feature would be a simple, easy-to-navigate product catalog, showcasing available fruits, vegetables, and other goods. Another essential feature is a secure checkout process, ensuring that the transactions are smooth and safe. A nice-to-have feature could be a section dedicated to sharing recipes or blog posts about sustainable farming practices. While valuable for engagement and community building, it isn't crucial for the primary aim of buying and selling produce. Start ranking them as the most important and the least important features to build. Great. Now that you have your MVP scoped out, it's time to move to the exciting part, building a prototype. Prototyping is about bringing your ideas to life. It's a tangible or visual representation of your solution that allows you to communicate your idea, test it, and get feedback. This week, you're expected to begin the work on building your actual prototype. Remember, the goal isn't to have a fully built solution. It's about getting feedback. The insights you get from bringing your product to the end customer or user are invaluable at this stage. You don't know if you're building the right thing yet, and you'll only know that if you put something in the hands of your end user or persona. To help you, we suggest 3 helpful resources. First, we suggest that you go to Arc. Arc is City as the School's AI co-pilot for problem solvers. You input your ideas one-liner and make sure to tell Arc that you're building a minimum viable product. Decide what project type. For example, is your project a web app, an event, an essay, or a construction project? Then, add a list of the need-to-have features you want included in the requirements field. Set a start date and an end date, and click Generate Project. Arc will then create the first 10 to-dos of your project and give you other considerations for each related step. You can add or edit the to-dos if Arc gets it wrong. You can use this project scope to help you keep track of what steps you should take to build your prototype. Secondly, if you're building a hardware project, then we've created a huge list of online stores and places you can buy electronics, metals, timber, and anything else at citiesaschool.com/parts. Finally, if you're building a software project, start by creating sketches of the screens you're going to need. This is often called wireframing. You can do this on paper or using a tool like Figma. After wireframing some of the core screens, consider building your MVP using a no-code tool. No-code tools with their drag-and-drop editors and easy data source connections like Airtable or Google Sheets enable quick and efficient app basic construction. They allow for rapid iteration and learning, letting you discern what works without needing coding expertise. Even if you're code savvy, using no-code tools can speed up the development process. We recommend visiting makerpad.zapier.com to learn how to build with no-code tools. Okay, let's summarize this week's session and clarify what's expected over the next week. You've learned what an MVP is and how to focus on need-to-have features versus nice-to-have features. Start by writing a list of the need-to-have features of your MVP. You've also learned how to work with Arc to scope your project's to-dos and help you keep track of what you've got to build for your MVP. You can bring your list of need-to-have features and work with Arc to complete the steps. We also covered some resources to help you whether you're building a hardware or a software project. This week, you'll be expected to share your progress on your MVP, either with a screenshot of some designs, a list of the need-to-have features, or actually the complete prototype, depending on how far you get with it. Remember, the purpose of the prototype is not to be beautiful or fully functioning. Right now, it's all about feedback and receiving insights from your end user about what works and what doesn't work for them. Use it to refine, improve, and get closer to a solution that genuinely makes a difference. Next week, we'll be iterating on your prototypes, improving them based on the feedback that you get. You'll also be learning about how to collect user feedback from Yo-Yo, another facilitator at City as a School.